Hi everybody, I'm Lex and welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about something a little bit different than normal. This isn't in fact an update. I wanted to go through sort of my inventory numbers and give you a good idea of my collection. I did consider filming or taking pictures of most of my collection, but I kind of figured that I don't really want to. It's a bit of a daunting task. So I might leave that for a future updated version of this, maybe around December time, towards the end of the year, after Christmas, if I've had anything new and I have big updates to my inventory. But this is kind of the first time that I'm really properly doing this. I have some makeup inventory numbers from the start of July, and since then they've changed a little bit, so I decided to rewrite my whole inventory numbers just because I also added a lot of beauty products, hair care, skincare, things like that, just to get a gauge on how many of those I have. The way that my room is set up, because I'm in an attic, the ceilings are really slanted, and I have some small cupboards that fill in the slanted gap a little bit, but where they end there's still space behind them before the ceiling touches the floor. And in that gap, if I pull my drawers out, I can fit a bunch of stuff in there, and that's where I keep all of my backup beauty products and things like that. Whereas my makeup, it all fits into one big makeup storage case that I just keep on a shelf. But anyways, so sometimes it's a little bit difficult for me to gauge what my collection is looking like, how many things I have. Also, I'm an impulsive sale purchaser. If I see something's on sale and it's at a good price, I'll immediately buy it, just to try it out, just because it's cheap. So like, I was in Primark recently and they had a pretty big sale on a lot of the summer stuff, including a lot of lip oils and lip balms and things. They were all like £1 each, and I'm like, I can't pass this up, you know? Lip gloss or a lip oil at £1 is a really good price. Especially because they're like fun flavours, and also like I'm a sucker for gimmicky packaging. I did end up buying quite a few of them, but it is what it is. Let's get into some numbers then. I might pop a couple of pictures up that I did take just to illustrate my point sometimes, because I think that this is a slightly overwhelming amount of products for one person to have. I do get through a lot of things quite quickly, and obviously I count every sample and deluxe size item as one item, so it's perhaps not the most reflective of how much actual product I have, but yeah, I've set myself some goals and I want to reach them, so I'll let you know my goal numbers as I'm talking through stuff. Let's start off with a bit of makeup, and I've separated out my face bases versus my eye bases, and this may be a little bit different to how other people do it, but every single concealer that I own, I only really use as an eye primer and a little bit under the eyes, because I don't wear like a full face, you know, like I don't put concealer all over my face, I don't put foundation on, I don't wear foundation. So every concealer and foundation that I own counts as towards eye bases, along with actual like eye primers and things. Whereas face bases are more just face primers and things that I put all over my face before I apply, you know, like my blush and my powder and everything, just to help things stick a bit better. So for face bases, which are predominantly just primers, face primers, my goal is to have 2. I currently have 7. I've set myself a pretty low goal for this because I don't think I use them very much. They usually come in pretty large packaging, and I don't think I need a face primer, so my current goal is to get it down to 2 and then maybe think about getting rid of that category completely. For eye bases, I have 10. They are predominantly concealers. I think I only have 2 actual dedicated eye primers, but again, my goal is 2 because I don't think I need that many, especially because if I buy a full-size concealer that's going to last me forever as an eye base, I'm only using it on a tiny part of my face. I don't need 10 of them. one thing that I've popped into my eye base category is a full-size foundation. Do I think that that is impossible to use up? Yes, because I don't wear foundation. I will probably experiment a little bit and maybe aim to mix it into tinted moisturizer or something, but it's currently in the eye base section and I don't think I'm ever going to finish it. I use literally about half a pump to do my entire eye area when I use it, and it's kind of not the right shade for the rest of my face, so we'll see. I don't like throwing things out though. I'm going to try mixing it, see how it works. I don't like wasting product. Moving on to powder, my goal is 2 because I get through powder quite quickly, so I think I should give myself a little bit of leeway and still be able to maybe switch between 2 different powders. But I currently have 7. I just finished one recently in my 50 Shades of Black. It was only like a small travel size one from NYX, but that takes me down to 7 products. For bronzers, I think I would be happy having 3 bronzers because I would like a lighter one for the winter, maybe a mid-tone one, and then a darker one for the summer when I'm a bit more tan. I'm using a very light bronzer at the moment, and it looks really nice in the winter, but in the summer it doesn't look like I'm wearing anything at all because it just disappears into my skin. However, in reality I actually have 7 bronzers at the moment, and I can tell you off the top of my head that I've only actually used maybe 4 of those. The rest are unopened or unused. For blush, I want some more variety because blush comes in so many different colours. You can get peachy, pinky, reddy blushes. So I think I'd give myself some leeway and have a goal of 10 blushes, ideally. But at the moment, we're sitting at a solid 45 blushes. I don't know how they all accumulate. I think it's just the fact that blush takes so long to use up. You don't really need a lot of it, and blush packaging is massive. They always give you tons and tons of blush for no reason. So I have 45 blushes. I'm hoping to hopefully take that down by 1 or 2 by the end of the year, because who needs 45 blushes? Unless I'm blushing my entire body, I'm never going to get through that. For highlighters, I've also set a goal of 10, and I also massively exceeded that by having, again, 45 highlights. A lot of them come from palettes. I have some liquid highlights, and a lot of them are really similar, so I don't think I need 45 highlights, but I do feel really, really bad throwing out any product that is still usable, so I'm going to keep working on them and keep trying to get through them. There is one highlight at the moment that I'm considering crushing up and putting into a lotion because it's just completely the wrong shade for me. But while it's still summertime, I'm going to try and make it work and then maybe think about putting it into a lotion. I, again, don't need 45 highlights because I'm putting the tiniest little bit just on this part of my face, so who needs 45 massive pans of highlight or massive bottles of liquid highlight? You don't need that. For eyeshadows, I don't know exactly how many palettes I have. I think it's somewhere in the range of like 70 to 80 palettes. That seems like a lot. I'd say closer to 70, maybe like 74 or 5. I don't actually know. I didn't count how many palettes I have specifically, but I did count exactly how many pans of eyeshadow I have. And I set myself a pretty high goal of 500 eyeshadows that I would ideally like to have. Perhaps in the future I'd bring that down even more because who needs 500 different colours? But I have still massively exceeded that. I have 701 pans of eyeshadow currently. That includes all of my singles, that includes every single shade in every palette, and granted some of those aren't very big, some eyeshadows do run pretty small, but also some eyeshadows are going to take me forever to use up because they're just either really dark colours that I don't reach for very often. I've included every single pigment and glitter and everything that I put on my eyes in this category, and it's a lot of stuff. 701. It's gonna be rough. I do want to bring it down. I will be working diligently on that. Although, just in the space of a month, I've gone up from 697 to 701. And I think that just shows you that eyeshadows are my soft spot, and I perhaps need to stop buying eyeshadows. Especially because I know that my recent purchases have been just colours I already own, colour stories I'm not super inspired by, things that I'm just buying because they're cheap or because they look cool, the packaging looks cool. So, maybe time to reassess with that. I know I have at least 8 or 9 palettes that are completely untouched, that I haven't even swatched, that I haven't used at all. So, yeah. Maybe time to start doing that. Then, for any coloured lip products, this includes lipsticks, lip tints, lip oils, anything that basically I would wear out during the day on my lips. It's all one category because I'm not going through every single thing and categorizing it into like a lipstick or a whatever. All of my coloured lip products or lip products for the day, they all go together. I have 133 of them, which is way over my goal of 20. I thought I was being generous, setting a goal of 20. I was like, yeah, 20 colours of things. Maybe like a couple lip glosses, a couple lipsticks, yeah, that'd do me. 20 all in all, that sounds generous. And then to find that I have over 100. 133, that sounds crazy. Especially because I don't think I finished a lip product in genuinely years. I set myself a goal of 10 lip balms because I feel like lip balms are very versatile. A lip balm is a lip balm, you know, I don't need as many of those. So I have a goal of 10 lip balms. And in reality I own 43. That, it doesn't sound so bad compared to some of how crazy my other categories are in terms of goals versus reality, but I also realised that a lot of lip balms take a long time to finish. I put a lip balm in my 50 Shades of Black project pan, and I'm now finding out that it is pretty much impossible to finish a lip balm up quickly, because even though I use it almost every day, multiple times a day, it has been hanging on for 3 months now. So, wish me luck. In my miscellaneous category, and I don't know why I still call this the miscellaneous category, it is almost exclusively eyeliners and then a single body pigment, so this might as well be my eyeliners category. But I have a goal of 20 just because I do like to play around with my makeup, and I would want some variety, and I'm not too far off my goal. I have 24 eyeliners and 1 body pigment, you know. I have 24 items altogether. Coffee break. I like these little cappuccinos from Lidl, because I bought a little coffee like this from Tesco the other day, and I was getting out of the car and I spilt it all over my t-shirt because it didn't have like a little mouth hole, just the whole top peeled off. So I like, you know, was holding it weird and then spilt it all over myself. And I had wanted to wear that t-shirt to an interview, and I wasn't going back to my house at all between the spillage and the it was a tour, it wasn't an interview, but it was for my new job, my potential new job. So I wanted to look smart, and I had just spilt coffee all over the t-shirt that I was gonna wear. So I ended up popping into Primark. I bought another top and stuff. I wore that to the tour, and then immediately after the tour, I ended up spilling chocolate all over myself, all over my top. So it wasn't my week this week when it came to keeping my t-shirts clean, my tops clean. And speaking of, I already spilled something on this top today as well, so it's a good thing you can't see further than here because, yeah. I'm just so prone to spillages this week. It's bad. Anyways. For some more random items, some more, miscellaneous stuff. I have body glitters. I wear a lot of body glitter, especially in the summer. I'm crazy for it. I love to look as sparkly as humanly possible. I set a goal of 5 body glitters because even though I think that's pretty high. I was like, I know I have a few, let me be generous and lenient and give myself some room so that I can reach my goal, and then set a new goalpost to try and reach, so that maybe like I'll go down to 5, and then later on I'll think about it again and I'll go down to maybe like 2 or 3, which I think is probably a more reasonable number of body glitters for a person to own. But I currently have 8 body glitters. Do I need 8 body glitters? No. No, I don't. Probably not, especially since they only come in 2 colours, gold and silver. So why do I need 8 of them? Who's to say? For hand cream, I feel like having 5 hand creams is enough, you know? I can always buy more. But I currently have 28 hand creams. And it took me a month of, like, every day, multiple times a day use to finish 1 hand cream. And that wasn't even a very big one. I know I have bigger hand creams in my collection. Yay. For perfumes, I again want to own maybe around 5 perfumes, give myself enough variety but still be just cycling through stuff quite quickly. I don't want to have a massive collection of perfumes that never get used up. I'd rather have 5, perhaps like use 1 or 2 up and then buy some new ones, and yeah, I think that would work a lot better. But I have 22 perfumes. I'm not complaining, a lot of them are really nice, and a lot of them are very, like, special and unique. I have one that smells entirely like strawberry laces. My mum just bought me a really expensive perfume for my birthday, the original Billie Eilish one. Yeah, so I have some unique scents, and they're scents that I really, really enjoy. I don't think I own a single perfume that I think smells bad. So I do get use out of them, and I do like them a lot. I'm not upset about it. I'm just not at my goal yet, and that's okay. That's alright. I'm working on it. Body sprays, again, I think 5 is plenty. I wear perfume whenever I'm going out. I wear body sprays whenever I'm staying home. I only really tend to spray once a day, maybe twice at most, so I don't get through them as quickly. But yeah, 5 body sprays is my goal. I currently have 11. I did just cave recently and buy a cherry body spray, and I bought one on sale in Primark that's called like Dancing in the Night or something, I don't know, they all have stupid names, but it smelled a little bit vanilla-y, and I love vanilla smells. I love kind of gourmand, like vanilla cake, yeah, whatever. I love those kind of smells, they're really nice. I also love fruity stuff. I just love anything that's very sweet. Very sweet, that's my jam. I have 11 body sprays, I only really need 5. We'll see how long it takes me to reach that goal. For nail polish, I have a goal of 20 because I think that's so much variety. I think I could happily cycle through 20 nail polishes. I currently have 76. I can't even name 76 colours off the top of my head, so I don't think I need 76 nail polishes. But whatever. Nail polishes are difficult for me to finish because I don't really know when to call it quits. I tend to just keep using them, and then they never seem to end. So I don't tend to throw them out. I think I kind of just leave a lot of them to dry out. So I think if I start cycling through more nail polishes now, especially now that I've started bringing them into projects, my project pans, a bit more, I can get a feel for what's actually dried out, what should I declutter because it's just done for, it's unusable. And that'll probably bring my numbers down a little bit. False nails, again, 20 is plenty. That rhymes, that should be my new motto, 20 is plenty. I think 20 is plenty, so I want to bring it down to that, but I currently have 33 sets of false nails. I don't even wear them a lot because now that I'm at work, they just kind of get in my way a little bit. I'm typically pretty good at having false nails on. I don't get really, really long ones or anything, but when I'm at work, and especially at the moment my job requires me to do a lot of things with my hands. I do a lot of like pulling things off hangers or having to finesse like really tiny things and doing tags, and nails just sort of get in the way of all the tiny finicky tasks that I need to do. And when I start my potential new job, everyone fingers crossed that I get this apprenticeship, because I really, really want it. It's in a field that I really, really want to work in, but I'm not going to get sidetracked into that right now. I just hope that I get this job. Please, everyone, wish me luck. But when I start that job, potentially, I'm going to have to tone down a lot of the things that I do. I won't be able to wear any nail polish at all. I definitely won't be able to get away with false nails in the workplace. So that'll be even more difficult to cycle through then. I'll have to wait until I have time off. Maybe like a week off, maybe, whatever. I'm going to take a little break now before the next category, because I want to talk a little bit more about my other stuff now. Moving out of that was pretty much everything that I have makeup-wise. I keep all of those things in a spreadsheet so that it's easy to see for my project planning. I track individual uses on all of those items. Next, we're moving into stuff that I don't track. I don't count the usage for. I don't even have a spreadsheet for all of these items, so I tend to forget how many I have of each. And these are more everyday beauty items, hair care, skincare things, so I don't want to have a crazy amount of backlog for this, because unlike makeup or perfume, where it's like I want variety and I want to be able to play with things and I want to have a multitude of stuff to choose from, these are all pretty much the same, and I don't think anything's particularly, no category is particularly special enough where I want a ton of different items in that category. So all of these, or pretty much all of these, I want to only really have like one backup of, and then just buy as I use things up, rather than having a massive backlog and then forgetting about things, and then things potentially going out of date or whatever. So let's dive into my more beauty item related stuff. For hair masks, I have a goal of one backup. Also for these items, I won't be counting anything that I'm actively using, so anything that is actively in my bathroom, in my shower, currently being used. It's not getting counted. I'm only counting stuff that I have as backups. I would like one backup conditioner, and I currently have one backup conditioner, and that is the only green category in this entire video. That is the only category on which my goal has been met. And until this becomes a problem category again, unless I feel like I need to bring it back into this inventory dealio, I won't discuss conditioner again. I don't need to. For bath stuff, I want maybe around 10 items, because I do want a couple different, maybe bath bombs, some bath salts, whatever. I currently have 31. A lot of them are single-use items, because I have some smaller bath bombs that only take one use, or I have bath fizzes, and those only really take me one use. But I have quite a few things that will take me longer. I have some bath salts, and those take about 10 uses each, because they're kilo bags, and I don't use a lot of bath salts because they're pretty pungent. But yeah, I want to bring it down to 10. I'm at 31. I don't think that would be too crazy, as long as I just don't buy anything else for now. Then for hair masks, I want just one backup hair mask. I currently have 5. And I know that one of them is absolutely massive, so it'll take me a while to get through. I don't need this many though, so I'll try and bring it down to 1. It's not crazy excessive though, so I think as long as I just don't buy any more, I can get it down to my goal. Hair treatments. I think I would like to have 2 hair treatments. This includes anything that's like a leave-in, or like a hair, those little spray things, or like hair oils or anything. I want 2, probably because I want like a leave-in conditioner and a hair oil. But these are things that I tend to use more in the morning rather than when I do my hair showering at night, my hair washing at night. But I want 2 hair treatments. I currently have 10. Again, not super excessive, but they're just things that'll take a long time to use up. Shampoo. I only want 1 backup shampoo. I currently have 3. I get through shampoo quite quickly, so this isn't going to be a problem category, really. Night creams for my face. I have 3. I want to get it down to 1 backup, because I don't need 3 night creams. I'm currently not using a night cream because I have a I don't even know what to call it. It's like a weird face thing, and you put it on your face, and it's supposed to be like mattifying. It's like a liquid, and it's supposed to be like mattifying. But I can't use that during the day, which is when I would like to use it, when I would like to be mattified, because if I have that underneath any sort of makeup at all, it just starts peeling in like those little like kind of peel ball things. Yeah, I hate that. So I've just been using it in the night. I slap it on when I go to bed. It is somewhat hydrating, so that's a plus, I suppose. But I slap it on before I go to bed, and then in the morning when I just like wash my face, use my toner and stuff, I get it off my face before I put makeup on, before I moisturize and put makeup on. So that's what I'm using right now. So I'm not actually using any night creams at the moment, but as soon as I do start using them again, I will probably get through those quite fast as well. The thing is, things like that, things like night creams, day creams, things of that ilk, firstly, they tend to come into my collection really easily because I get samples from everywhere, and I get stuff decluttered to me all the time, things that my mum doesn't particularly like or doesn't want to use. Or they're just really easy for me to just go out and buy one of. It's not something like, for example, with SPFs, I've gone really into like Korean, Asian SPFs. So I will typically have to place an order for that, which means that I have to reach a certain threshold, which means I'll typically bulk buy them, so I don't have to pay so much shipping every time, and it's a whole thing, you know, so I tend to want to have more of those kind of items. Whereas day cream, I can literally, like, during my break at work, I can go to Boots and buy one, or I can go to Home Bargains and buy one, and they're cheap and they're accessible and they work great. So I don't need 10, 20 backups of these things when they're so easy for me to just go and grab whenever I'm running low. That's why I only want one backup. I currently have 3. With toners, again, I want one backup. It's such an accessible item for me. I currently have 2. Not crazy, but they're quite big toners, so it'll just take me a little while to get through them. Day cream, I want one backup. I have 16 at the moment. I know I called this the day cream category, but it actually includes anything that I would only use during the morning, really. It's any serums, any face stuff that's just like a cream or moisturizing or has any active ingredients or anything that I would only really put on in the morning. So I know I called this the day cream, but it's actually just any morning skincare stuff. I want one. I have too many. I have 16. Face scrubs. I only want one backup. I have 5 face scrubs. I do have quite a few that I want to try out because I don't really like the face scrub that I was using at the moment. Yeah. Although, because I finished that, I brought a new one in, and it's from Jaya, and it's like a chemical exfoliator, rather than like a physical one with the scrubby particles, and that is so nice. That is really nice on my skin. I really like it a lot. It's got some type of active ingredients in it. Obviously, it's a chemical exfoliator. But I had that in my face scrub category. I popped it in the shower, and it's so good. But all the rest of my backups are like physical exfoliators. They have like the little grains and they scrub your face. But I think after I like run out of those, I might move more into chemical exfoliators because it's just so much nicer for my face. Like, it does the same job, but it doesn't feel as harsh, and it doesn't feel like it's scrubbed the top 3 layers of my skin off. Anyways, I have 5, I want 1. SPF, I want 1 backup, especially because SPF tends to expire quite quickly. I currently have 9 backups. This is the issue that I was talking about, where I will bulk buy them because I need to order them, which means I need to pay shipping, which means I need to reach a certain threshold to get free shipping, otherwise I feel like I'm overpaying for the items. So that's how I ended up with 9 SPFs, face sunscreens. I don't count all of my body ones because I don't care. I get through body SPF so quickly, and I'm not the only one using it, so why should it count towards my inventory? I do use SPF every single day, sometimes multiple times a day, so I do get through it quite quickly. And 9 SPFs, I think maybe by the end of the year I'll get through them all. Face wash. I would like 1 backup face wash. I currently have 8. They're all pretty big as well, so I imagine they will take me a while to get through, especially because I use like the tiniest amount of face wash every day. I double cleanse, but not in the way that other people do, where they use like multiple products to double cleanse, like multiple, you know, cleansers. I tend to double cleanse in the way of taking my makeup off with one of those magic erasers, and then when I shower, going in with a face wash just to get any excess gunk out. And that works really, really well for me. That leaves me with really, really clean skin. And it does mean that I don't get through face wash very, very much, because I don't need a ton of it. I don't need it to remove my makeup. I don't need it to, like, do anything too crazy. I just need it to, like, wash my face a little bit. Up next, cuticle oil. I want one backup. I have 3. And cuticle oil takes forever. I currently have so many that I'm using. I have one in my car. I have 2 next to my bed because I was afraid that one was going to run out, so I brought another one out, but now that one's taking forever to be finished. So I have 2 cuticle oils next to my bed, one in my car. I gave a bunch away to, like, my family and friends because I just had bulk bought so many, and I was like, this is just something I can give people, they'll use it, you know? But I still have 3 backups left, not including the ones that I'm currently using. So I don't need that many cuticle oils, but they're the clicky pen ones, and I feel like they kind of go faster than what I have at the moment next to my bedside table, which is like a vial of cuticle oil, and it just seems like so much. Never ending. I will probably switch to those more because I feel like they're more cost effective, and I feel like they're probably a bit better for the planet because they come in a glass bottle with a glass, like, dropper. They don't come in, you know, a plastic thing with 25 plastic components that only holds like 3 mils of product, you know, it's not that bad for the planet. Although I have been recycling my makeup recently, and I think I'm going to do a whole other video about recycling my makeup empties, because that's something I could talk about for a while, and I'm already 33 minutes into this video, so let's not get sidetracked too much. Bringing it back. Shave foams or whip soaps, because I only really use whip soaps to shave. I want one backup, I have 2. I tend to buy these more from, like, small businesses, like smaller businesses, because the only other places that I've seen them widely available, they are expensive as heck. So I bought some really nice ones from a small creator that I might pop up on the screen if I remember, and they smelled super nice. They were like kind of end of the season, end of the line kind of things, so they were massively discounted. They were amazing. I also bought some body butters. They were great. Loved them. When I went to repurchase them, I was like, oh, I'll look into some other small indie businesses, you know, and I found another lady that does whip soaps, and she just had the most amazing range of scents that I was like, oh, I have to try these. So I got a rhubarb and custard one, and then a plum and something else. Might have also been plum and rhubarb, but the plum and rhubarb one that I have right now, I'm using it right now, it is so incredibly Christmassy and autumnal. Like, it's that warm sort of like almost spicy smell. It's so good. I'm probably not describing this very well, but it's just that, like, it gives you that warm feeling when you, like, smell it. It's super nice. And the rhubarb and custard is also a pretty rich smell. Like, I would also class it as a very autumnal smell. But they are just amazing, and they lather really well. They're great for shaving. Cannot recommend enough. And they still work out cheaper than shave foam, because if I was to buy shave foam, not only does it come in an aerosol can, which I don't like using, but they also don't last very long, and they're very expensive. Body scrubs. I want one backup. I have 2, which isn't too bad. Me and my housemate, back when we lived together at uni, we decided to kind of come together and buy things from Jaya, because they had a really high free shipping, like, margin. I think it was like you had to spend £50 to get free shipping, and not only were we broke students at the time, but also I could not for the life of me find £50 worth of things that I wanted to buy, because I didn't want to buy too many duplicates of things, because I had never tried them, so I didn't know if I was going to like them. So we got together, and I think I spent about £30, he spent about 20, and together we got free shipping. and we both bought body scrubs. He bought the strawberry one, and I bought the... No, I bought the strawberry one, he bought the chocolate hazelnut praline one. And he didn't really like the smell of it, but he liked the smell of the strawberry one. So I was like, if you want, we can switch. So we did that, and now I have the chocolate hazelnut one, and it is incredible. I cannot wait to use it. It's a big tub as well, so I do think it's quite worth it. Jai has a lot of really good stuff, especially for skincare, like face skincare. They have a lot of really nice face creams and things, and I do talk about their products quite a bit because they pop up in my projects every now and again. I just finished their like hair and face mist a while back. I'm using 2 of their creams in my 50 Shades of Black project pan, and I've never really come across any of their products that I've not been happy with. There have been maybe a couple of things where I'm like, okay, this isn't perfect for like my skin type per se, but there's never been anything that I've been like, this is a bad product. Everything that I've tried from them is really good. It's a little bit more expensive than my typical skincare, but that's because my typical skincare is like a £1 face cream from Home Bargains. Regardless. Body lotion, I would like 1 backup body lotion. I have 12. I buy body lotions like they're going out of fashion. I feel the need to buy them constantly because I think I get through them much faster than I do. I will say not a lot of my body lotions are very big. I think I only have about 3 big tubs, and everything else is just like a small, like either like a travel size or just like the ones in the squeezy tubes, and I don't think the squeezy tube ones are, you know, that worth it. They tend to be pretty small. But I do need to get through some of these. I'm currently working on a bunch of lotion bars, which obviously aren't counted in this inventory because I'm not going to count every single product I'm currently using for my like beauty and skincare. But I'm trying to get through some like bar lotions, and it's a little bit difficult to remember to use them, especially because I feel like in the summer I already like use so many other products on my body that then also lotioning feels like an extra step that I don't particularly need in the summertime. If I'm already putting on like an SPF and some body glitter which comes in a spray that feels really moisturizing, then I don't feel the need to then like also put lotion on. And in the evenings I tend to kind of just forget about it now because I have been using a little bit of body oil every now and again, but my skin feels perfectly fine in the summertime. I don't go out in the sun so much. I don't feel really dry, especially it's a very humid summer for us this year. So I don't feel the need to get through body lotions. So that's why I have 12 and I've not been moving through them at all. For deodorant, I would like 2 backups, because I tend to use just a normal deodorant on my days off and then like an antiperspirant deodorant on my working days because I sweat so much at work. I do. I sweat so badly. I had to try and find an antiperspirant that worked for me, and that was a journey. I started buying one off Amazon, and it's a little bit on the expensive side for what you get because it's a tiny bottle and it costs like £10, but it's so effective that I will probably keep buying it and keep using it because it's so good. But I don't want to use it every single day because that's not good for your armpit pores or whatever. So I tend to just use normal deodorant on my days off, only use antiperspirant when I'm going into work and I know that I don't want to be sweaty. A butterfly just flew into my room, did a lap, and then left. That was gorgeous, but because I didn't know what it was, I freaked out. That scared me so bad. And then I saw what it was, and it was just a butterfly, and I was like, oh, okay, that's like really gorgeous. Anyway. Soap, I would like 1 bar soap backup. I haven't put shower gels in this category because I'm actually like really steadily going through shower gels one at a time, so I don't need to have shower gels included in this at all. But bar soaps I have been hoarding a little bit. I have 11 backup bar soaps right now. I don't need 11 backup bar soaps. It's like my mum. It was her birthday recently and everyone bought her soap. It's not because she smells bad, I promise. Foot packs. My goal is 0. I don't think I need foot packs. I'm trying to move away from single-use items like that. So my goal is 0. I currently have 7. As soon as I'm done with them, I'm not buying any more. Same thing with hand packs. I want 0. I have 2, so I'll get through those quite quickly and then not buy them again. I would like to move more towards multiple use face masks, so things that come in like a little pot or a jar or a tube, something that has it like a lot of product in it, something that I only like buy once and then can use for a few months, and that would be quite good. So I would like one backup of those. I currently have 9 like multi-use face masks. Sheet masks, I want 0. I have 64. That's a lot of sheet masks, that's a lot of unnecessary plastic waste. They're just so small that I don't think I have very many, and then I like get some more from somewhere, like a gift or whatever, and I just chuck them in with the rest, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get through them eventually. And then you end up with 64 sheet masks. It's a little bit crazy. Room spray, I would like one backup room spray. I have 6. I'm currently using a really nice cherry one, and hopefully it's really finished because it gives me traumatic memories of university. Back when I was in uni, I had an incident where I thought there was a mouse in my walls, and I couldn't sleep because of it for nights on end. I had genuinely about a month of really, really rough lack of sleep. I thought I was like going insane because my housemate kept telling me like, no, there's no way there's a mouse in your room, literally gaslighting me, being like, no, you're just being silly, like you're just not getting enough sleep, like don't worry about it, there can't be a mouse in your walls. And to the point where I genuinely thought that I was like hallucinating this mouse, because I would wake up in the middle of the night and see it for a split second before it disappeared, and I genuinely thought I was going insane. But I didn't really do much about it past complain to my housemates a lot, and they didn't really believe me, until we were in the living room one night watching a movie, and we're all on the sofas, like calm, chilling, whatever. And what do we see trying to jump up the step out of the living room, because our living room had a little step to go out into the hallway, but the mouse! The mouse trying to jump out of our living room and go back upstairs to its hidey hole in my wall. And so I screamed, my housemate screamed, we were both on the sofas, our other housemate ran in, and had to try and catch the mouse and get rid of it. It ran behind the TV table, so we had to like start moving furniture around, but eventually he caught it, and it was a tiny little mouse, innocent and cute. But it had scared the shit out of me and worried me for a month, and I was not too happy about that. And even though I got my retribution being like, see, it was real, I wasn't just imagining things, it had taken so long, and I was just so tired by that point. I had invested in like humane traps and things, because all my landlord had said was, oh yeah, we can just bring a guy in to set some traps down and catch it, and I felt really bad, so I bought humane traps myself to see to it, and it never got caught in the traps. So it wasn't until that day in the living room when we were watching that film that it had gotten caught by my housemate. And he walked down the road and set it down and set it free, and hopefully it was out there living its lovely little mouse life elsewhere, not in my bedroom. I never heard it again, so I don't think it came back. I know they say that mice can come back if you just put them out, but I don't think it ever came back. I didn't hear it. But for that entire like period of time, I was like reading about mice and how they don't like strong smells and things, and I started off by spraying my cherry room spray everywhere, because I was like, that's a pretty strong smell, it sticks around for a while. I started spraying that everywhere. It didn't seem to help, so I eventually ended up genuinely pouring about half a bottle of peppermint essential oil all over the carpet, and my room smelled like a peppermint for genuinely the rest of my time there. Because I just read that mice don't like mint smell, and I was resorting to drastic measures after a month of not getting sleep and getting harassed by this mouse. This is a really, really long story time. I might cut this out of the video and just put it in a different video, because it is a really, really long story. I'll talk about it again sometime instead, probably, rather than subject you to almost 50 minutes of not even inventory talk, but just constant getting sidetracked and talking about random things. yay for whatever is going on with me right now. I've realized recently I've just gotten into such a mood of being a chatty Cathy and getting sidetracked by a billion things and talking a mile a minute about anything and everything. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm just in a really chatty mood recently, apparently, so this is what everybody has to deal with. And that's fine. That's fine. I'm thinking about creating a new project just to keep track of some of my bathroom stuff, my soaps, my shower gels, my shampoos, my everything that isn't, or like wouldn't really come into a makeup project pan. But I don't know what to call it. I don't know what I would call it, or if there's already a project that exists like that to track miscellaneous beauty items. If there is, let me know down below. If a content creator already does something like that, I'll check them out. But other than that, thank you so much for sticking through this very long video, which I have probably edited down so that it's not an hour long. And I will see you all in the next one, which will probably be a regularly scheduled update. And by regularly scheduled, I mean completely random, because my scheduling is not on point yet. I'm not back to a regular schedule. Things are just going up whenever they're done. And isn't that just life? I'll see you all next time. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry for all the rambling. I hope you have a good day wherever you are. And see you soon. Bye!